2 days ago, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, was interviewed on Arise Television, and it was probably the least intelligent 5 minutes of broadcast history in Nigeria's television history. And you need to watch that video. The video has now gone viral. He was asked, what would he have done differently to prop up the value of the naira from what the Tinubu administration is doing? And he said that he would have borrowed money to prop up the value of the naira. Now, exactly how did he get here? We got here because the Buhari administration borrowed and overborrowed, and now Nigeria is almost insolvent. And so what this man profiled as a solution is more of the problems that brought us to this point. Now, let's cast our mind back into history, because a lot of Nigerians have very short memories. How did we get here? We got here because the Buhari administration told us we had about $37 billion in foreign reserves. But in November of 2022, JP Morgan, our bankers in New York, came out with a report and said the Buhari administration lied and that our foreign reserve was actually about $3.7 billion. Furthermore, it was found out that the Buhari administration illegally, without appropriation by the National Assembly, had taken a ways and means debt of about 30 trillion naira. Basically, what it means is that without appropriation by the National Assembly, they just printed 30 trillion naira and were spending. And that means that money had to be paid. And by the time the Buhari administration handed over to the Tinubu administration on May 29, 2023, it was found out that there was about $6 billion in Forex Backlog owed to foreign airlines and foreign companies operating in Nigeria. Our economy was comatose. The Tinubu administration had to pay back that money, had to start servicing the ways and means debt, and things were so bad that they even had to arrest and prosecute the then governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Emefiele. And then now they've asked this gentleman, what are you going to do to improve the situation? How would you have handled it better? And he says, I would have been borrowing money. I mean, it's almost unheard of. Now we know why this man had a second-class lower in philosophy. It's coming out. You know, what is in him is coming out. Look, if we keep on borrowing more money to defend the naira, how are we going to prop up the naira when already, by the time Buhari left, we were spending about 98% of our revenue in debt servicing? You can see that this man does not understand the situation at hand, and his supporters do not mean well for Nigeria. They were trying to foist on Nigeria a man who did not have the mental capacity to even understand the problems that we are facing or to even bring about a solution. Go and watch that video. I mean, it is just terrible, because if we are to get out of this situation, then we've got to do certain things. And these things that we're going to do are going to be very difficult things. One of the things that we need to do is to float the naira, because if we continue to borrow to defend the naira, then we're not going to be able to fund our budget, because we're going to be spending all our revenue in paying debt. And this is not debt that this administration took. This is debt that this previous administration took. Now, I'm going to give you some facts, and you need to fact check me on this. If you take all of the foreign loans that all the past governments of Nigeria took, from Tafawa Balewa to Ironsi to General Gowon to Murtala Mohammed to Olusegun Obasanjo to President Shagari to Muhammadu Buhari to General Babangida to the interim national government to General Abacha to Abdulsalami Abubakar to President Olusegun Obasanjo, coming back a second time to President Yaradua and to President Jonathan. If you take all of these administrations together and then you combine all the foreign debts that they took, it is not up to what the Buhari administration took in 8 years. And then they asked this gentleman, how are you going to fix the situation? And his only response is that I will borrow more. You can see that this man, Peter Obi, is not the answer, and Nigerians can never and should never make the mistake of making him their president. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.